5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is going on? As you can tell, no Jamie here for this episode of the SKOL Experience. He is currently on a plane heading to London, going to the Vikings game. Lucky man, getting out of that nasty Carolina weather that he was able to avoid, or not avoid, but he's able to get away from it for a little bit and see something new, enjoy some nicer times. But we are joined by Rap tonight in his place. Rap, how we doing this evening? Dave, how we doing this evening?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate y'all fellas having me on the SKOL Experience. I think this is like my second time, maybe, or my third time. It's one of those.
There's got to be more than that.
I think not like this show in particular. I don't know. I think it's only.
Yeah. I know we brought you on to do that smash or pass. Oh yeah, and that was I think that was the first time. But yeah.
Well, maybe this is my third time.
Were you here the last time we did schedule predictions? Or no, that was Coda, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was we did that. I forget what I need to go back and look at what I did.
Yeah. I think
I got 11 wins on that, even though I've been saying 10, but I think I got 11 wins on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But no, anyway, I feel good, man. Thank you.
Well, with the hot start to the season, we figured it would be fun. We only got a half hour with Rap here, so we figured we'd jump into this right away. We were going to do a little schedule re-prediction. Talking before we hopped on here, it just obviously not a lot of people expected a 4-0 start, right? I mean, I'll be 100% honest with you. I was thinking at this point, I was looking at 1-3, or 1-3, maybe 2-2 at best. And that's not me trying to be a negative. Like that's just me. That was me being honest, realistic, like my honest thoughts about it. But obviously, we're all going to take this 10 times out of 10. I mean, the main concern, I believe, was Sam Darnold, right? Like nobody, like we knew this team had the talent, but nobody thought Sam Darnold was going to do what he did. I do remember Dave being a pretty harsh critic when the Vikings signed Sam Darnold. If you remember that, Dave. I don't know.
He was. Yeah, he was.
But do you also remember the shows that I did with you talking about he has all the talent in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Nah, he was hard on the boy Darnold, though. Me too, though.
Oh, I mean, initially, well, my point was that I was told that, everybody goes, well, I was told. Well, I was told this was a transitional year and he's just holding a spot for the young guy, right? I just like if we're getting a placeholder, we already got one. That was my point. But in Casey knows this, that I've been every show talking about how he has just the arm talent, the athletic ability, the height, the arm. It's, he has everything. It's just what can KOC get squeezed out of it. And I even went as far to say in the last show I did, if I knew Sam Darnold was going to play like this, I would have helped pack Kirk's bags too, because we're getting 42 million. We got 42 million to the quarterback cap right now. We got 42 million we're spending in the quarterback position right now because of Kirk's dead cap hit. So we're paying a big time quarterback anyways. Well, not technically, but money wise. But you told me Sam Darnold was going to do this, I would have been right on it. If you told me he'd play this high level, I'd have been right on it. I would have been said, yeah, let's fucking go.
Absolutely. Before we do hop into the schedule re-prediction, we got a couple people in the comments already here. Roger, thank you for joining us. Zoe, what is going on, my guy? Thanks for hopping in. We got Bob Swede. Looks like Jamie has landed in London. I think that's what that is. Hopefully everything's beautiful there. Hopefully the flight was nice.
Jesus, what time is it there?
Dave Thibodeau as well. Yeah, what time
4
is it?
4 o'clock. 4:30.
Like AM?
Yeah.
Wow. My boy,
readjusting to the time.
Yeah, but his clock is. Oh, he's in Atlanta. Okay, he said he's.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. Got layover. Ah, okay.
He'll probably get there like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning.
Very nice. Well, thank you for joining us from your layover in Atlanta to talk some schedule re-predictions here. So anyway, Vikings 4-0. Before the bye, we do go to London. Obviously, one thing that I'm going to be pointing out tomorrow when I do my show by myself, because Jamie's not here, is the Vikings are undefeated in London. And we've had a lot of streaks so far this year, right? Like the 49ers haven't won in Minnesota since 92. Undefeated against the Texans since the Texans were in existence. And now it's in London, undefeated, I believe we're 8. I believe we're 4-8 against the Jets overall. But how are we feeling about this one? I personally feel pretty solid. I mean, I think we're all probably going to agree on this. I see this game as a win. I know Aaron Rodgers is kind of an old-time Vikings killer. I get that. He's a different guy right now, a little bit banged up. That team just feels like they're not all on the same page. I personally am going to go with the W here. I guess we can, since there's 3 of us, we can do we can go whoever votes the most, 2-1, that gets it here. So I'm going to go win when it comes to the Jets in London.
Yeah, I'm going win for sure. I'm going win. I think this is gonna be a beat down, bro. Like bad beat down. I think we can really. We're definitely winning by 2 scores. That is a fact, you know. And I'm gonna say we're gonna win by at least like 17 to 20 points. That's what I'm picturing. That's what I'm picturing. They had an ugly game against the Denver Broncos, which the Denver Broncos they have a decent defense. I don't want to take that away from them, but I mean, come on, man. Like we're a different animal than the Denver Broncos, even on the offensive side of the ball in particular.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's gonna be, we're gonna set the tempo early and often, man. It's gonna be quick. We're gonna blow them out, and hopefully we don't let them fight back and claw back like we did the Packers for sure.
Right, for sure. Dave, thoughts?
Oh yeah, Jets. It's over. I'm picking 27-10. I felt like I was I tweeted out like we're at 28-0, and I put my score prediction. I think I had us winning 34-13. Yeah, I had us winning 34-13, and I was like, hey, if you want to hear the truth, subscribe to Minnesota Sports Talk. And then then the muff punt happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, then the fourth quarter about to start, you know, and they're scoring. I'm like, oh, let me delete that.
Yeah.
But yeah. This time it's for real. This time it's for real.
For sure. So Vikings go into the bye with a record of 5-0, feeling pretty good about everything. And then go to the bye week. Hope everybody stays safe. No one does anything stupid. Everybody stays healthy. And then you got a big one. And this, I mean, me and Jamie were talking that this feels like the biggest game on the schedule the rest of the way. You have the defending division champs, Detroit, coming into your building. They looked really, really good against the Seahawks team on offense mainly. But then again, the Seahawks were missing most of their defensive line and some defensive starters out there, but still ended up putting, 42 points on the board. I mean, obviously, the Lions have a top run game with 2 really good running backs. They have some really good receivers. But that defense, you can get after him. I mean, Terry and Arnold, I think what they say, he has like 11 pass interference / defensive holding calls this year already. I think he had 8 going into last game, and he had 2 or 3 more. So I think that Lions game is going to be a tough test. But at home at US Bank Stadium, if the Vikings come out and play against the Jets and play really well in London, I just don't see how you can, this feels like a season where the Vikings will go undefeated at home to me. So I'm giving them the win. It's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be high scoring. But I'm giving us the win at home against the Lions.
Yeah, me too. You know what I mean? Like, listen, 17-0, baby. I done said it, man. Look here, I'm riding with it until this team shows me different. I don't see anybody beating us, including the Lions. Like, I think it's gonna be I think it is gonna be, like, I agree with you as far as probably being one of the tougher games on our schedule. We made it through mainly the tough part of our schedule in all reality, but the Lions, I can see that game being a little challenging. But again, it's the Lions, though. I'm still holding on to that. I don't care. I think it could easily be a blowout where we blow them out. You know what I mean? They hyping up the Lions, but they coming into the bank and we gonna show them something. That's just what it is, man. And remember this, Justin Jefferson always has amazing games against Detroit, man. So he bound to have 200.
All right, I like it. Dave, thoughts?
Well, there's one added caveat here too, is that the Lions are in their bye week this week, so they have a bye week, which kind of sucks. But
they're gonna need that.
Like last year, we went from San Francisco on Monday night, and then played the Packers, so a short week, and we just came out and crushed the Packers on the road. That shows what this team is capable of. I feel like we would be prepared that this would not be an issue for us. And we do know the Lions very well. Lions are inconsistent. Our quarterback's inconsistent. They put it all together one week. This team's going to go for 4th down like a ton. We're going to stop them. They're not going to try to kick field goals. They're going to try to score touchdowns. We're going to stop them. They're gonna get frustrated. I think it'll be a close game, but I think we'll win it at home, and especially the way the crowd has been this year, that it hasn't been for a while. I think we'll finally feel like we finally got our home field advantage back.
I like it. So we're all predicting W's here. Love to hear.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna win.
And we're gonna win. Perfect.
Ups.
And then you got a short week. Thursday Night Football in LA. Kevin O'Connell goes home to play against the coach that he coached under for a couple years there in LA and won a Super Bowl with them, Matt Stafford. So this game really comes down to which iteration of the Rams do you get. And that all depends on the health of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. And it sounds like at the time of the injuries, it sounded like it was going to be longer term for both of them. I mean, obviously with Puka, that's week 1, so it gives them, another 6 weeks since the injury to get back. So it really depends. And maybe this will run to a 17-0 type of deal, but I mean, I don't care. I don't care which iteration of the Rams you get. I think Kevin O'Connell is going to be highly motivated to go back to LA and win. I mean, obviously Stafford's a solid quarterback. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are really good receivers. So if they play, that's great. Kyron Williams, you're gonna have to keep an eye on him. But I don't know. This Rams team has shown they had a good game against a good comeback win against San Francisco. But I'm picking another W here. I mean, I don't care who you have on the field. If you have Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, that's fine. Until this Vikings team shows me something that they're not the team that we think they are, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to come out and start hot against the Jets. I think they beat this Rams team no matter who's on the field.
I agree. I also agree. Yeah. Like the Rams aren't that good. I mean, they have their times where they play good, but usually they play good against divisional opponents. Yeah. So I don't see the Rams beating us, bro. I just don't. They just don't have enough power on defense nor offense. Yes, Matt Stafford, he's a good, decent quarterback. He's still doing his thing. I give him his props. He's still doing his thing, but he can't move like he used to. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's the issue. The issue is these quarterbacks being able to really process, having the time to process. Our defense is so fast, man. It's just, as long as we stay healthy, yeah, we're going to smack the Rams. And I want to say one thing, too. The Kevin O'Connell thing was good. I want to bring this up, too, about the Jets game coming up Sunday. Because the Jets released Kevin O'Connell, man. There was a clip going around, which was kind of interesting. You know what I mean? And look, some
bullshit.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, man, Kevin O'Connell going, because we haven't played the Jets since we've had Kevin O'Onnell as a head coach, right? I don't think so. Have we?
Nope. And I don't know. I don't know if Sam Darnold's played him yet either since he's been on.
Yeah, and I'm sure, knowing Kevin O'Connell, I'm sure he called Sam Darnold and probably was like, "Yo, not only did they do you dirty, but they did me dirty. Let's go out there and freaking
let them sit down."
Yeah.
They
then told him how disappointed they were in him.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm sure the game planning is definitely gonna have an extra little oomph to it this week where we trying to step on them. You know what I mean? For sure. We trying everything in our power to step on them, not even make it close. And, I don't want to go back to the Jets game, but I'm just saying, they're going through turmoil with the coach and Aaron Rodgers. They just got a lot going on, man. They in talks with the Raiders trying to get, man, it's just a mess over there. We should dominate this team, bro, for sure.
For sure. And that is a big thing to bring up with that game, too, is there is just some instability there. Obviously, Rodgers and Saleh don't get along. Rodgers, I don't think Rodgers respects Saleh one bit. You're right. It's kind of a disaster fest. And the Packers, and that's the thing. Saleh's got a good defense. They're really, really good against the pass, but also who have they been playing and the conditions they've been playing in. It's just, it hasn't opened up to a team throwing against them a lot. And they do have some good cornerbacks there. They have, they go 3 deep at corner, but we go 3 deep at receiver, including one of them being the best in the league. So it's going to be a tough game, but you can run against them though. That's the big thing. So you got to establish Aaron Jones, get after him in the run game, open up the pass game, keep Darnold clean. Everything's going to be fine.
Right now we're 8-0. We're 8-0, right?
Yeah. Oh, I pick a win too. So you guys,
we are.
How do you feel about the Rams, Dave? What's up? You think the Rams?
Who did they just lose to? They just lost.
They lost to who did they? Who was it? They lost this last week. Yeah, who did they lose to this week? It was a terrible. This is the Raiders.
And they don't look good. They didn't look good.
No, I wasn't the Raiders. The Raiders played the Browns. Yeah, I might have to look it up. I can't remember.
Anyways, regardless. I know they didn't play very well. I had it pulled up. I was watching.
Oh, they lost to the Bears, right?
Yeah, they lost to the Bears. There you go.
So
Yeah,
we can't-
the
yeah,
Bears
we're
won
gonna
at
win.
home. Yeah, the
Freaking
Bears won at
Bears.
home.
Come on now.
We're gonna win that one. Hey, the Bears kind of turned around. They went to the running game a little more, and
They did.
they're
Man, we gonna smack the Bears. I can't wait to play the Bears.
We got a couple more people jumping in here. What's going on? Catch, thanks for hopping in. Delton, nice to see you. Thanks for hopping in as well. Dylan, what's going on, man? Thanks for hopping in. Our first loss is going to hurt so much. Yeah,
it is.
Maybe like week
It's
4
gonna
of
be
next
painful.
year. But we ain't losing this year. Anyway,
Yeah, 17
moving
and
our
on.
first loss in 2025 is gonna hurt.
17 and 0.
But moving on, the week after, we welcome the Colts into US Bank Stadium. At that time, who knows if it sounds like Richardson's hip deal isn't going to be that bad. I mean, Rap, I'm sorry, but personally, I would much rather see an Anthony Richardson-led Colts team as opposed to a Joe Flacco-led Colts team.
Yeah.
This right here is a stretch. There's like a 1, 2, 3, 4 game stretch here where even before the season started, I'm like, I don't see a loss in this stretch. And that was when me and Jamie already had the team 1-3, 2-4, whatever it would end up being. So Colts, I don't care who their quarterback is. If it is Flacco, I think it's gonna be a little tougher test. I mean, Richardson, obviously, he's basically still a rookie, right? He's still learning the game, still trying to refine some of those mechanics that are the things that he needed to work on. So I'm giving us a W against this Colts team, and I think this is going to be a pretty damn easy one.
Me too. I think this is going to be an easy game too.
We're going to hand them their ass. That's
for sure. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They're just not ready to take that next step.
Home, right?
You know what I mean? Like,
Now
we're like, we have stuff to play for this year already, especially just starting out 4-0, man. Your percentages of really getting an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl are super high. So, we're going in every game now, really trying to dog it, man. So the Colts, they're in trouble when they have to come to Minnesota. For sure.
Do you think Richardson would have been? Do you think Richardson would have been much better if he was under KOC?
Hell yeah. I think KOC is just it's definitely, I mean, it's evident now that KOC, on top of, the piece, I want to give Kwesi his flowers too. I want to give, the wide receiver coach, just the whole organization. I want to give the Vikings their flowers as a one, because yes, KOC plays a huge part, but I just think the pieces we have, that's why I always beg this team to trade up and get a quarterback. Because we're not the Panthers, we're not the Bears. Like, if you trade up when you already have pieces, you can plug a quarterback in there. We got Sam Darnold, who's more of a veteran, but shit, Sam Darnold been ass, man, his whole career. I would have been excited to see what JJ McCarthy would have looked like right now playing with Kevin O'Connell in his ear, bro. Like, I think we still would have been 4-0. I'm gonna keep it honest with you.
I mean,
it probably wouldn't have looked as clean, but we would have been 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, just looking before we move on, just looking at his quarterback coaching career, right? Like, got the best out of Kirk Cousins in 22, 23 with 8 different quarterbacks playing. Like, you had Josh freaking Dobbs. Like, he was the story of football for 2 weeks, and eventually those things are going to fall apart, right? I mean, that was a whole situation where you're just waiting for the bottom to fall out.
Yeah, eventually the truth comes out.
Even Nick Mullins was putting up, 300 passing yards per game, right? So it's like. So Kevin O'Connell can just coach quarterbacks if he has adequate time to work with them. I mean,
he takes pride. He takes pride in that too,
for sure. And I loved his comment. I loved his comment the other day about how organizations fail young quarterbacks before young quarterbacks fail organizations. That was a phenomenal quote and very, very true. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Now we start a 3-game run on the road. First one starting in Jacksonville with the Jaguars. At that point, will Doug Peterson even be coach of that team anymore? I don't know. There's talent on that team. Trevor Lawrence hasn't become the generational talent people wanted him to be. I'm pretty sure we're all going to go around the horn here and just say this feels like another pretty easy W, right?
Absolutely. They're going to be in the Travis Hunter Bowl. I can see them really being one of the biggest candidates for Travis Hunter too, especially being a Florida team. Travis Hunter would love to play in Florida. He's going to go to Florida. It's lining up for and it's crazy to talk about, being that they have a guy that they just paid hella money in Trevor Lawrence too. And he's supposedly supposed to be a superstar quarterback, which he's been super mid his whole career, to be honest with you. But That's another prime example. Could you imagine Trevor Lawrence with Kevin O'Connell though? Like, bro, it would be sick out there. Like, because this is the thing, man. These guys can play. It's about the situation, man, and that's evident now. You know, when it comes to the younger quarterbacks. Now, you got, we ain't gonna get on Kirk, but like younger quarterbacks for sure. But yeah, we gonna stomp them. I'm gonna be at that game too. So,
ooh, nice, very nice.
And they just don't have the weapons, man. They don't have the weapons to beat us, especially on their offense. Like, who they beating us with?
Right. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be good. They have Christian Kirk, who's a solid vet. Travis Etienne at running backs having a disappointing year so far, but that team is just in such disarray. Like, honestly, I don't think Doug Peterson will be there by the time this game rolls around.
Yeah, no, he's out of there. Yeah,
I was out on him when I heard he had like ice cream day for his team. And he was they showed videos of him having ice, hey guys, make sure you go out and get that ice cream in the hallway. I was totally out on him.
What's wrong with ice cream, man? Shit, ice cream day. That sounds pretty fire. Shit, I'd have been.
Those were the best days back in high school when they're like, oh, by the way,
there's ice cream in the
cafeteria. And you're like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
So Dave, I assume you're picking W there as well.
Oh yeah, and is Rap gonna? You gonna be there?
Yeah, I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'm coming down to the Jacksonville.
Yeah, we reunite to go watch them. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. That's an easy drive for me, so I'm gonna definitely do it.
Hell yeah! And then for Florida, they go to beautiful downtown Nashville, Tennessee. I will be at that game, heading down there for that weekend. That'll be. Who knows if I'll even be sober by the time I might be stumbling into that stadium.
Now, let me get one back at you, though, Casey. I like how you threw the Rich Gang vibe at me. I'm with you on this one. I'd rather see Will Levis play than to have to deal with Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, Will Levis. That was wrong. Will Levis is not a good quarterback. He is a turnover machine. I personally think that the reason that they're going to stick behind him and keep starting him is because they know that if they do, they'll end up with the top 3 pick, and they'll be able to get Shadir Sanders or whichever one of the first round quarterbacks, they want to get here. Hey, what's going on, Knowledge? Thank you for hopping in. I got 13-4. Should be enough for a first round bye. Absolutely, it would be gotta be fantastic if this team could go from a team that people predicted to have 4 wins in the top at a top 5 pick to the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. Only
the NFC's wide open too.
We'll wait. We'll get there when we get there. But anyway. Beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. As I said, I'll be there.
I'm gonna try to be. I might be broke after the Jacksonville game.
Yeah, if you can make it, man. I've never been to Nashville.
Back, dude. That's a back-to-backer. You might as well not even go home. You might as well go straight from Jacksonville to Nashville.
I got 4 hours of vacation time right now.
Yeah,
we can make it work. But anyway. Bad Titans team. Bad Titans team. I mean, that's a game where I think we could turn them over 4 times, have a defensive touchdown. I mean, again, is it even worth? I mean, we'll go around. We'll go around the horn here. I'm going W pretty easily.
Yeah, me too. Again, like it's almost like a broken record, but it is what it is, man. Like who do they have that's going to challenge us, man, on the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball? Like I can't even name anybody on their team that's going to challenge us, because DeAndre Hopkins damn sure ain't. And with Will Levis throwing him the ball, I'm not worried, not one bit. We are gonna punish that guy, man. Like for sure. They probably don't even want to play him, man. They already know they're going to lose. They're going to wave the white flag on Wednesday leading up to that game. They know it's over with. For sure.
That might be the worst team we play.
I think they probably are the worst team that we're going to play, bro. Like them or the Jaguars, because the Jaguars are ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like people look at the Jaguar, they see Trevor Lawrence and they think like, oh, the Jaguars could still be kind of good. But no, the Jaguars are bad, bro. Like, if you watch them play, they're just as bad.
Jeffrey Simmons, that's a good point. Yeah, he can wreck a game for sure. But
Jeffrey Simmons is decent, yeah.
So anyway, Dave, I assume W for you as well?
Yes.
All right. We got Selling McCarthyism. Thanks for hopping in. This team has a short memory after a loss. I think they could legitimately go 15-2. I see our losses in Seattle and Detroit. And those are 2, which we'll get to our thoughts on those in a little bit here. Because those are going to be another two other tough tests as well, especially when Seattle's probably a little more healthy by the time that rolls around. And that offense is tough. But anyway, next game we go at the Bears, a game that we were all at one point hoping would be rookie versus rookie. and a fun matchup there. At the Bears, again, the Vikings historically at Soldier Field hasn't been great. But again, I just don't. Me and one of my coworkers is a Bears fan, and we were looking at their schedule. They have about 2 games in the rest of their season. They have like 2 games they can win. I think in their last 10 games, they play 6 divisional games. So that's a gauntlet. That's a
There was someone
right
posted that today, and it's like, what win are they going to get out of this schedule?
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I think they play a cake team this week or next week or something. It's probably a W. But I'm going to give us. I'll say it now. I'm giving us a season sweep against the Bears. After when coming into the season, I thought we would lose there. But now that I see, I just don't. I don't know if they have the staff. They have the talent. I don't know if they have the staff to properly coach up Caleb Williams as of right now. So I'm going to give us his W pretty easily.
Me too. I'm giving us the W. Their wide receivers are already pissed off at Caleb Williams. Like, he's already like, not getting them the ball, particularly DJ Moore. Like, he's already showed his frustration. Like, so, I just don't think they're ready yet. I can see them being decent next year, though. Like, I think Caleb Williams is going to be okay, though. Like, I really do. I think he's going to be okay. I just don't think this is the year, right? So, like, this is our year. They just need to understand that. So, whoever in the way just need to get out the way, because it's our year this year, bruh. Like, for real. That's evident. So, yeah, I got us catching the dub. Easy.
Hell yeah. Dave?
Yes.
Same? Yep.
That's a win. I think he's just going to hold on to the ball. We're going to get at him. We'll probably have our best sack game that game, and he'll be a deer in headlights. He won't know what's coming. The Florida's defense, you look at Florida's defense, and you just can't see. You can't tell who's coming, who's going. You can't tell if it's going to go 2 deep quarters. I see Matt Freeze, shout out to him on Twitter, pointing stuff like that out. What our defense has 8 people in the line of scrimmage and drops into just every single different defense you can imagine. Caleb Williams is not going to be able. He's not going to be up for that.
Yeah.
I feel it. All right, love it. Dylan, we are definitely doing this after 4-0. Vikings are the best team in the league. Power rankings prove it, right? Come on now. It's always schedule predictions are always kind of whatever. But after the start they've had, I legitimately think this could happen. Like, I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah, and we're setting the season to no injuries. This is, we're setting the Madden season to no injuries here.
For sure.
Yeah.
I guess since we only have a little bit of time left, we just want to go rocket through the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's one I do want to spend like a 30 seconds on. Cardinals. That's a tough one. A lot of talent on that Cardinals team, but they look like, I don't know, they had a couple good weeks, but so far have not been great. I'm going W against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going W against the Cardinals too. Like, they got talent, but it needs to flourish still. Like, Harrison's struggling getting separation. Like, he was getting separation in college, but he's struggling in the NFL to get it. Now, I think he's still a great player. I think he's going to be a great player, but he needs to work on separation in the NFL. He's thinking this shit Ohio State, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not looking the same. A lot of his catches are, when you watch him in college, he would be wide the fuck open and be making good plays like that. But now everything's like super contested. Like, it's just seeming like giving me KJ Osborne vibes, man. I'm just saying.
Right. And like Jordan Addison didn't have a problem getting separation his rookie year.
Bro, that's actually a skill. Like, everybody doesn't possess that skill. Justin Jefferson's really good at it. You'll see 2 or 3 catches a game where Justin Jefferson doesn't have a motherfucker around him within 3-4 yards, just like Jordan Addison, like you said. But like, there's people that struggle, even if they were good in college, man. They get in the NFL and they struggle with separation and spacing. So I think he's struggling with that right now.
And we didn't even mention we're having TJ Hawkinson back in these games.
Yeah,
too.
practice Friday, man. Let's go. Yeah, it's about
So
to
we're all
be
on
nasty.
Dubs against Cards, right?
Yeah,
All on Dubs?
I fear for the NFL when TJ Hawkinson comes back on this team. I fear for you guys. God bless your souls.
Yeah.
Then the big one, Kirk Cousins returns home to US Bank Stadium. Falcons, Vikings. Tough one. It is a tough game. They do have a lot of talent on that offense. Drake London, Kyle Pitts hasn't really been anything. People thought he was gonna have his biggest year. We're just not seeing it. They do have Bijan Robinson. They spent a lot of money on that defense. I think we win this one though. I mean, you can't let Kirk Cousins come back.
Casey got us going 17-0, baby.
Maybe. I don't, and Dave's gonna give me a lot of shit when I don't. But you cannot have Kirk Cousins come back to Minnesota and beat you. So we win this game handily.
I got us winning. I'll be damn if I say Kirk coming back to our motherfucking house and beating us, man. But realistically though, like I've watched most of their games because it seems like they've had a ton of prime, like out of this 4 weeks, it seems like they've had like 3 primetime games.
Yeah.
Like,
what a terrible schedule.
And they play again on tomorrow night. You know what I mean? So it's like, God damn, what is it? Just really primetime Falcons or some shit? But like, again, man, every game's like super close. You know, the Kirk way, man. Everything's right down to the damn wire. Them boy had to hit a 60-yard field goal the other night just to win. So
they got screwed against.
I think we're gonna stomp their ass, bro. Like for real, it's gonna be a curb stomping, bro. I can't wait for that game. I wish I can go to Minnesota for that game, man. I would go. That's gonna be a fun one.
I don't see that that offense isn't gelling yet. They can't just. And then this last game, I saw Bijan Robinson got like 6. I don't know. They didn't give him the ball that much, and they had running another guy instead. But he was doing all right. But the passing game doesn't look fluid. I've seen it quite a bit of it. Their defense stepped up and won this last game for them. They did get screwed against Kansas City big time. That was a fucking pass interference. That was a tackle in the end zone. But we're a better team than them. They're a good team. I think they're going to be above 500. I think they're going to be a potential playoff team. The Saints are back to earth and stuff. So I feel like it's, they could still be division champions, but they're not our caliber.
Yeah.
Bears we already talked about. I mean, winter whiteout game.
Yeah.
At USA Stadium, Monday Night Football. You ain't losing that game. That's another W.
Yeah, dub.
We all in agreement? W.
Yep.
All right, at Seahawks. This is a tough one. I do think this is gonna be one of the harder games of the season. That offense.
What, at Detroit or at the Seahawks?
No, at the Seahawks. This next one is. Okay. So this was almost one I was gonna say. Let's take a loss. Yeah. So I don't sound like a complete homer, but I can't do that. So we're gonna go to Seattle. I don't give a shit about. I like DK. He's on my fantasy team, so I have to. DK's cool. Tyler Lockett's whatever. He's old. They beat the Seahawks. They beat the Seahawks in Seattle as well. It's a close game. This one comes down to a will to thrill 50-yard game-winning field goal, but we pull it off.
Dub. Yeah, dub. I'm going with the dub. I don't give a fuck. I'm not worried about Seattle at all. Even though back in the day I used to, because for some reason we struggle with the Seahawks like all the time, bro. Like the Seahawks are like our freaking kryptonite, man. I don't know what it is, but no, this year's different. It is going to be a close game. I'm not going to say we're going to go in there and straight dominate them. I think it'll be a back and forth type game, but I think we'll find a way to win due to coaching. I'm going to give it to our coaches, man. I'll give that win to our coaches for sure. Out coach.
Just so we don't have 3 17-0s.
Fuck it, man.
I know the history of going to Seattle. Then throw in it's December.
Yeah.
And we're a better team. Like if this was a playoffs, but going 2 hour or go 2 time zones over, going to the Northwest in December. That is just shitty. They have a great home field advantage there. This is going to be our first loss.
Oh, okay. Dave picks it. But
Dave
loss. Personally has them with 1 L. It's a cumulative thing. We outvote you 2-1. So overall, we're still undefeated. But Dave's got him with 1
Oh, it's
loss.
Cumulative. Okay, so you guys saved me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We did. And so you can say that at that point. Packers come into US Bank Stadium. We whooped them there. I don't care that Jordan Love will just come back. I mean, Packers fans, all the excuses in the world. I get that.
Yeah.
You beat the Packers at home. You can't lose to them on the road. So I'm going W here as well.
I'm going W here. Yeah. I think we learned our lesson. We'll stomp on them again, and this time we'll make sure that there is no slither of hope, because these Packers fans been holding on to that shit I mean, I had to tell one Packers fan, like, all right, since you put it that way, I guess the loss did look a little better for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having those type of conversations, like how good y'all suck. You know what I mean? Like, man, this is ridiculous. You know what I
You
mean?
guys sucked really good.
You guys sucked really good. I ain't gonna lie. Like on paper, yeah, you guys suck really good. I ain't gonna lie.
I just think Flores took his foot off the gas. It wasn't detailed enough, and the players are, we got to play better. Apparently, he ripped them in the meeting room.
Yeah.
And I think it was Van Ginkel that said that. So it's I think the great thing about Flores and KOC, I think they do reflect on what's done. Obviously, they took responsibility in the press, but they realized there was times the players just two guys followed the guy to the corner and let the tight end just sit there in the middle of the in front of the end zone untouched. So there was definitely a two-way the defense at fault, but then Flores definitely I think he took his foot off the gas.
For sure. All right, so there we go. So now the big one, week 18 in Detroit. This is actually where I am going to give us our first L.
Me too.
For a couple reasons. Mainly because at this point, Sam's in sweatpants. He's wearing his jersey. JJ's on the sidelines chewing on a cup of seeds.
Yeah.
Nick Mullins is starting because this division's already locked down at this point. The Lions win. They get into the wild card. Great. Congratulations. But this is an L mainly because we ain't playing any starters this game. We're done. One seed's clinched. Yeah. Who needs to play your starters in this game?
Matter of fact, I take it back. Nah, this is a dub.
We're 16-0.
Nah, that's a dub. Like I think our second string will beat the shit out the Lions. I'm gonna keep it real. It's the Lions, bro. Like, come on, man. It's the Lions. Like, yeah, I got a 17-0. I'm going 17-0, man. I'm not taking
Dave,
back.
You're the deciding vote for the first time.
Oh, shit, man. I was
easy dub.
The whole cumulative thing. I was gonna make us 15-2 because we would have the first seed clinched, and the Lions are going to be playing everybody to make the higher seed, and we just not play anybody and we lose. But accumulatively, we're 16-0 right now. So yes, if we're 16-0, we're going to go for it and win this game.
Let's go.
Okay. I like it. So realistically, Dave had 15-2, I had 16-1, and Rappo.
I got 17-0, baby. Our second string gonna beat Detroit.
He dominated. And
there you go.
I hope no other team watches this and posts that look at these three.
Let's go.
We're
definitely being homers tonight. You know what I mean? We're being homers tonight. But
we deserve it.
We deserve it.
We fucking deserve it. We're 4-0, man.
We're 4-0 in fashion too. Like, we're not just squeaking out games.
We're the hardest part of our schedule.
Yeah, like we're stomping, we're really putting belt to ass, man, and we're gonna enjoy this as Vikings fans and live this up, man. Like, listen, until a team challenges us, I don't see a team beating us. That's just what it is. Because we haven't been challenged. The Packers game wasn't a challenge. We let them come back. That was just kind of, letting them come back and mosey around. Like, if we would have kept the intensity up, that game really should have been like 42-7. For real.
For sure. I agree. But I mean, again, as you said, it's all fun and games. It's the NFL. Things are unpredictable. There's probably going to be a couple games where you just don't play as well.
Absolutely.
You might drop a couple here and there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree this, based off what people thought before the season, this feels like a team that will contend for the 1 seed, will definitely contend for the division, and is definitely not this slouch team that was going to win 4 to 5 or 6 games like people predicted. Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores, they have this team ready to play. They have them playing hard. They have them playing together. So this will be a team that, after these first 4 games, I'm 100% convinced that this team will be a playoff team. I don't see a 2016, because that's what people say, 2016, Sam Bradford, you started out 5-0, but that, we all were watching that, and it's just this is fluke. We know eventually, as exciting as it was, we all knew eventually the bottom was going to fall out of that one, and this team was going to come crashing back down to earth. And we did. We finished 8-8. I don't see the team I don't see that team being like this year. Now, Could it be a 2017 team where the defense is playing really well and you're getting the best out of a quarterback that hadn't improved himself throughout his career, and maybe you get into the playoffs and it just doesn't work out? Sure, I could see it getting to that point. But I think it's going to be a fun season. I think this team is going to remain in contention for the 1 seed throughout the entire year. And I think it's going to be a fun one. A lot of times, and I think people, like a lot of people say, like, don't, like, people want to like look towards the future, and they're like, oh, I'm nervous for when it's going to fall apart or everything. It's like, just enjoy it week by week. I mean, we have a good football team that's overperforming what people thought we were going to do to start the season. So don't worry about the future. Just enjoy it week to week. Enjoy the fact that we have a 4-0 football team, and a lot of people think it's legitimate. And just like us, like we knew coming in, like, we'd be decent, maybe not this good, but good. But I think the world is starting to see, like, this is a legitimately good football team, and just enjoy the ride, right? Enjoy the ride.
Exactly.
I think it was after the third win, I saw a YouTube channel, and I honestly, I've never seen them before, but I knew they existed, and I see them post on Twitter, and they got like 1,000 subscribers, and they were like, hey, should we talk about what we can get for Sam Darnold at the trade deadline? I'm like, are you shitting me? What? You know, come on, guys. Just, you know, put that to rest.
Well, all right, fellas, I got to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all having me on tonight, though, man. This was fun. 17-0 Vikings, baby. You know what I mean? You know, regardless of what these guys are saying. It's in the bag. It's in the bag. You know what I mean? 17-0. It's happening. Speak it into existence, man. But I appreciate y'all. This was fun, man. I wish I could stay the whole time, but I got to run and do something, man. But I didn't want to miss kicking it with you guys for at least 30 minutes.
No problem, man. Thanks for hopping in.
Man.
We'll,
appreciate y'all, man.
On here again.
Yep.
All right, Dave, we can talk a little bit. We can talk a little Jets Vikings. I mean, I got a whole stream to do by myself tomorrow, so I don't want to get too far into the weeds here. But we can definitely kind of look forward to how you feel?
A little taller.
I mean, what's that?
I need to be a little taller. You're 6'2", man.
I'm 6'1". Don't give me the extra inch. Yeah, normally Jamie's here, so you have another short guy. Short guy on the screen, so you don't.
I'm 6 foot.
No, I mean your camera angle, whatever. But hey, what's going on, George Blunt? Thanks for hopping in. Or the long sleeve.
George.
Yeah, right. That terrible, and that's why I'm happy that they delayed everything with. I mean, Hawkinson wasn't going to play this weekend anyway, but I'm glad he's not, because that field sucks. Hopefully, we have no more Lewis Cine compound leg fractures there.
It's not the same stadium, is it?
I think it is.
Is
I
it?
think they always play at the same one.
All right. Well, I mean, the same stadium as the one that Jordan Love got hurt.
No. That was the one in Brazil.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, they were in Brazil.
What was I thinking? Never mind. My bad.
But how you feeling? How you feeling about this weekend's game? Like, I feel pretty good. I mean, again, to me, Aaron Rodgers is always going to be Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know. I feel pretty good about it.
I feel good because KOC had been there before, and that's good experience. And I just think we're coming off a high, but it was tempered down because we kind of we learned something. Like, we can't take our foot off the gas. We learned a lesson without losing, which was awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
This could have been a loss and be like, oh, hey, we're gonna have one of these games. No, but we won. We had one of those games, but we won. And God knows how many times that shit turns out the other way, right? Now, there's things I want to see better. Going into the 2022 season, my biggest thing was we were always huddling. We weren't up tempo. Kirk Cousins went to the line with 5 seconds and we snapped the ball, whatever. But immediately the next year, we're up tempo. We're getting the line with 15 seconds left. We're making adjustments. We did that in, I think, the Giants game. And I think that would be something that we pull out a little more often. I think Sam Darnold's fully capable of doing that.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think we've done it yet. And I think it's because, we got a lead. No, man, go for the throat. Go for the throat. Throw it out there. Get a quick score. Get a quick chunk yardage play because they're unprepared. If you go no huddle and you don't bring anybody in, they won't stop the clock. They have to play with their players out there. Now, if you bring somebody in, they stop the offense, and then the defense can make substitutions. But that's a big advantage for the offense, huge advantage for the offense. So let's do that. Let's get that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Rat mentioned it, and I don't think I thought about it enough. It does, and it all goes back to continuity, right? Like from Kevin O'Connell to Brian Flores to Sam Darnold to all the rest of the players. Like everyone is on the same page here, right?
Yeah.
You have a Jets team that is 100% not. I mean, Rodgers and Saleh are already taking digs at each other, in the media. It's just, I mean, Rodgers is frustrated. You can tell he's frustrated. I mean, the offensive line is not very good. I mean, he has sacked 5 times last week. He said he had both of his legs are hurting him. Like, this is a team that just feels like they're not like this. This may be the week that makes them implode. Who knows? But again, like I said, Aaron Rodgers always scares me because he's Aaron Rodgers. But I don't know. I feel like we're just we're a more talented team overall. Like they have pieces, right? But I feel like we're more talented, and this team is a better football team than the Jets. Sure, like the Jets have pieces in many different places, but overall, like talent-wise, we're better, and we're coached. We're better coached, and we're all like everyone's on the same page. And I think that's a big thing when it comes to football.
Like for me, I don't know if you ever seen some of the shows I did that weren't on SKOL Experience, but I had co-hosts, I had people on that laughed at the fact that I said that we had a win now team, and that was playing, San Francisco, that was playing the Packers. And I think this is a better team than that. And I felt the only reason we weren't 4-0 to start the season last year is because we were -11 in turnover ratio. We're +3 right now. And we have a better defense and better run game. So we're overall a better team. And I felt, and I know you felt really good after beating the Packers. And I think I had Kirk Hader call me, telling me, "Sorry, Dave, man, I totally believe in him now." Then he gets hurt, and now he's scum again. But we had a good team, and and now we have better personnel on the defense. We have a better running back. God damn it, this offensive line's playing so much better. I don't care what any PFF score says. The eye test is telling me that this is the left side of the lineup, especially, and I'll pat on the back. Blake Brandel, my boy, is legit, and I'm so happy that KOC is erasing everything I didn't like about him. I like, playing the wrong guy, not putting a guy in, not putting a guy in there that deserves it. The running game wasn't non-existent. I also think another big difference is Darisaw's not getting hurt. The offensive line's intact. Nobody's out. And you get that consistency all year long, knock on fake pressed particle wood, but that's a big deal too. So the running game, the offensive line's gelling, and then the defense got the right personnel, and our coaches are just all up and down amazing. And Ryan Wright's a good punter again, so that's great.
Yeah, he's had 2 bad kicks this year. The one against the Packers,
he wasn't as good this last game, but
yeah. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you on all those points for sure. Yeah, and I'm excited to see Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold,
because I spit gold. I spit gold, Casey.
But I mean, but you're right though. Like I feel like this when you talk about like the personnel and like the better on defense, like this really, and I think I don't know if we've talked about it before. I know me and Jamie have. Like this feels like the first time in Kwesi's tenure that we have the team that we want, right? Like you come in, you had all these guys on expiring big contracts. You had to play out that first season with them. You got 13 wins. Terrible defensive coordinator.
He's a year early.
Right. You switch out defensive coordinators. You bring in Brian Flores. You get the best you could out of that defense last year. You let some people go, and you let some more of those contracts expire. I know they would have liked to bring Daniil back. It just didn't work out. And I'm happy. Honestly, at this point, I'm happy it didn't. I love Grenard. I love Andrew Van Ginkel. Blake Cashman was a huge signing. You don't get to do that type of stuff if you pay the type of money Daniil Hunter got. So, but I feel like this is the first year. Brian Flores, second year in the defense. I feel like this is the first year that the coaching staff has the team that they want on the field playing for them right now. Like this defense is guys that Flores handpicked and said, I want that guy, I want that guy, and I want this guy. Because I think they're going to take this defense, because we don't have a ton of draft capital where we have to spend something to get some better players. But I think these guys will take this defense to the next level. And we finally have it.
Yeah, I think I had so many conversations last year on Twitter or whatever, people, I was telling people, okay, so Kwesi, I don't think his 3-year plan meant in year 3 he was going to rebuild the team.
No.
I don't. There was no. And then every time he picked up somebody, I'm like, again, Kwesi is not is not GMing this team to lose or take a step back, as people would tell me. Oh yeah, you need to take a step back so you can win. Kwesi is and O'Connell aren't wanting to lose at any point in their career. They're going to try to win as many games as possible. And fucking shout out, man. I know I'm hearing like Belichick, and I'm hearing all these guys. Like Belichick says, the only team that didn't think Sam Darnold was anything was the Jets. And I think we outside looking in didn't see it necessarily. He had spurts of it. He had a 400-yard game against us once. He had that ability. We just, he had to prove it to us. He's proven it to us. I don't think this was his best game. He had a pick that could have been, that was dropped. He forgot the play, I guess, when he tried to hand it off to Aaron Jones in the red zone. What was that? Then the pick, he throwing it to Aaron Jones on a corner route against their best player. It's like, okay, there was mistakes, and then the strip sack. That was the only pressure of the whole game, and it was a strip sack. For God's sake, if this was last year, we'd be bitching about how we have another one score a game. We took, we couldn't get it done in the third quarter. We only got 3 points the second half. Look at that mistake, that pick six or pick in the red zone. Look at that. No, people are now opening up to the fact that, hey, this happens to every quarterback. It's just, you limit those mistakes, we're going to win ball games. Oh, I think this, and he did have like a 75 QBR rating with ESPN. He had a 120 something quarterback rating. Yeah. It was still a good game, right? I think, if that's the worst he plays, we could still win every game that we play because of our defense. We had 3 turnovers, right? I think, because our defense can keep us in games like that, and our running game will keep that clock rolling
for sure. And as you mentioned, when people, I know people laughed at competitive rebuild, we're seeing it. And I think Jason Harmon, I believe he actually had an article about that come out either today or yesterday, I guess, about the exact same thing, about the competitive rebuild, and it's working. And it 100% is. Like, when people talked about that, this is what it was: remaining competitive while still rebuilding. And what are we doing? We're competitive this year, and we have $70-some million worth of cap space going into 2025. Like, this is the vision right here.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Casey. I'm gonna put you on the spot. All right, we're 17-0. How much money are you giving Darnold?
Ooh.
We're 17-0, according to you.
We've discussed that, and I've thought about it. As much as I get it and I understand it all, I'm still Team JJ McCarthy. I still think that, I think
it over to him.
I think if you can get this out of Sam Darnold, I think as we talk about, Sam Darnold's talented, just needed the right coaches. I think Sam Darnold can do it all, but I think people are going to be looking like, if Kevin O'Connell could do this with the 27-year-old Sam Darnold, what's he going to be able to do with the 22-year-old, basically rookie quarterback in JJ McCarthy, who has everything right here that you want? I think that's got to be the conversation. And personally, I think we've discussed this as well. And I saw someone tweet about it, and I was thinking it the day before, then someone said it, and it's like, oh, I should have said this earlier. The Rams seem like a really good spot for Sam Darnold. Same type of offense, really good offensive head coach, and he's still going to have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua with a really good running back and Kyron Williams there. That to me seems like, and Stafford's getting old, I could see him retiring. That to me looks like the pathway. I think next year you're going to see Sam Darnold get $40 million a year from the Rams.
I mean, he's going to get $40 million if he keeps this up. I mean, he's leading the league in touchdowns, for heaven's sake.
If he continues this, which I think he can keep doing it. And I want to go back to what you were saying about, being aggressive and all, and that, that conversation where, did Kevin O'Connell in the third quarter take the foot off the gas? Yes. I thought the play calling was questionable. It seemed, short yardage. We were awful. But what I did appreciate, though, and it came down to those last 2 drives, he even after the fumble and the interception earlier, he put Sam Darnold out there. When last year we did it against the Bears, we'd have ran the ball 3 times and punted and played defense. He let Sam Darnold with probably 4 minutes left in a 2-score game, and you were in a 1-score game in that first drive. He let him throw the football and make some pretty high risk throws that aren't very, like, he had one to Jefferson where Jefferson kind of had to lay out to get it. Not, very like completable balls, but he sent him out there and said, "Let's go win this game." And drives.
And I'm like, let's not get to that point, right? But a shout out, and people brought this up, like, hey, we haven't been behind. What will we in the chats? Not this one, but we haven't played from behind yet. It's like we've only been 3.5 minutes of the season we've been behind, and throwback to 2022, right? But he hadn't played from behind. But he has done is twice now gone down late in the game and got a score that put it out, almost consider, you could argue put it out of reach for the win, right? So that's impressive. That was really impressive.
For sure. Yeah. What's going on, T. Kubler? Thanks for hopping in. Darnold has better arm than JJ. There's a reason he went so high there. Throws Darnold made already this year. They'll be playing JJ can make. I mean, I get that. And Darnold does have a really good arm. Obviously, that was one of his highlights coming out of college. But I think JJ's arm is underrated. We saw him make some throw. I get pro day isn't really like real football. But I think JJ throws a good football. I think he has more arm strength than people really expect him to have.
I think I already looked this up. What is
JJ's
Sam Darnold's hand size? Google.
But anyway, back to just more about this game. And again, like, so for me, the biggest thing is, like as I said, I believe they're second in the league, allowing like 128 passing yards per game. Again, I think a lot of that last week, rainy conditions. Week before they were playing the Patriots and they were up big, and I get that, the garbage time stuff with the Patriots really don't have that talent of an offense, but I believe they're 20th in the league, allowing about 120 some yards on the ground. So I think pound Aaron Jones in the run game, keep Darnold clean in the pass game, open that up with the run. I think I think you need to go to Aaron Jones early and often in this game. He's a guy that I'm looking to have another big game this week. No, don't try to force him touchdowns, but I think he's the guy that's going to have a big game and open things up for Darnold to keep just doing what he's doing.
Do you feel like, let me ask you this, was it more like, someone told me last night that they figured it was analytics that we went forward on 4th down. But if you kick a field goal there, no, I don't disagree. I was wanting Aaron Jones to get a touchdown too. But we run that jet sweep. I think we ran a jet sweep with Jordan Addison earlier, but Jordan Addison has got whoop whoop. He's got the juke stick. Naylor doesn't. Okay, so I was like, right personnel to go with, or why can't we just hand the ball off and get a yard? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to be trickery? When are we going to be a team that can just get that 3 yards like Leroy Horde, and just
right. And short yardage was poor all throughout that game last week, like especially in the second half. Like when they needed some short yardage, 3 and 1, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, like I was talking about, hey, if this was last year, we were 4-11 on 3rd down. I mean, we'd be bitching up a storm or people would be bitching up a storm how foot off the gas, 4-11, we can't get it done on 3rd down, blah blah blah. No one's talking about it because we're winning. We won the game. It's another 1-score game. We gave up a 28-point lead. It's like, God, you think it's a different time now, and I feel so good about it. Remember when I said I can't wait till Kirk Cousins leaves so I have to stop talking about him? If we can stop talking about him, fucking, it's amazing. I was like, it's great.
For sure. And
we're giving people credit when credit is due right now. It's awesome.
For sure. Yeah. So Sam Darnold's obviously playing well. I think this is going to be a tough matchup, but I do think eventually we end up pulling away. So let's get into that before we call it a night here. We've almost been on for an hour. Let's get into score predictions. How you feeling? And give me a score prediction and give me your player, which player you think is going to have a big game.
Well, I already gave it. I said 27-10. Who's going to have a big day? Defensively, it's Greenard's going to Grenard's just going to be a terror the rest of the year. I didn't know how good he was, and now that I seen him on our team, I'm like, wow, we got a steal.
Yeah, I mean, the sack numbers might not be there completely, but I think he's led the team in pressures every week, hasn't he? He's gotten to the quarterback. I believe 1 week he had no sacks. We had like 5 quarterback pressures. That might have been against.
They tried to block him with a tight end, against the Texans. Like, he just devastated that dude. He planted him in the ground. Now, offensively, gosh, I mean, I think it's Jordan Addison is just going to be Robin to Batman. I say we have 2 Batmans all the time, but he's gonna be able to thrive off of Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson just hasn't scored touchdowns for us until this year. I mean, he was doing better last year until he got hurt, but he just hadn't been scoring touchdowns. And I think people double him too high, high safety over the top every time. But Jordan Addison just can get, he just gets open. It's just gonna be easy throw for Sam. I want to say Justin, but he's gonna get his 90 yards or whatever. But Jordan Addison, he's gonna be the go. He's gonna get a lot of looks. Now it's in the Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is going. Yeah, like you said, I think he's gonna have a field day in London. I think he lives for shit like this. I think he lives to show new people about what I can do. And then he's also playing against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers talked about how he was one of his favorite teammates. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be I feel great about showcasing this team, just devastating the New York team in London, getting more fans. I'm loving it.
For sure. I like it. I'm going to go 20-10. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be close till the end. I do think we pull away here. But like, and again, and my player prediction, I think Aaron Jones is going to go for 2 scores and 150 yards in total. But like, like people, they're going to point out the passing stats, right? The Jets have allowed 128 yards per game. Let's go through their schedule, right? So week 1, they play against 49ers. I believe Jordan Mason had 100 and some yards and 2 scores. So they got ran over all that game. So you can do it. Next game, then they play the Titans with Will Levis. They play the Patriots.
Here he's pretty good. I knew a guy that said he was pretty good.
Yeah. He's an idiot. Maybe wrong sometimes. Played the Patriots, who put up 3 points, and he played the Broncos, who had like 60 yards passing in total.
That's about the weakest gauntlet
exactly.
you could face.
But for people saying like, oh, we got to watch. And their pass defense is good. They do have Sauce Gardner. They do have DJ Reed. They do have Michael Carter. They have 3 really, really good cornerbacks. That's what it was, 150 rushing yards. Yeah. So obviously, if you're running all over that Jets defense, you don't need to pass the ball that much, right? So that's why the 49ers, they just stuck to the run game there. And then the weeks after that, you weren't playing good offenses. People talk about the Patriots. Putting Drake May in isn't going to help. It's going to ruin your future, first off. You don't put Drake May in this year at all. That team is so bereft of receiving talent at this point that it doesn't matter what quarterback you have in there. They ain't making anything happen with this team. So they went up against Jacoby Brissett and a bunch of no-name receivers, Will Levis, who can't stop turning the ball over, and the Broncos, who was rainy situations. So I don't think that, and again, good cornerbacks. I get that. Even an elite corner in Sauce Gardner. I don't look at their 128 yards per game allowed passing as a stat that you can actually look at and be like, oh, they're a really good pass defense. Because I think they can get got for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly this. Like, and that's why my big thing is get the run game going so that you can do some play action and keep Sam Darnold clean, which I think we can, like you say here, because I know obviously Jermaine Johnson's out, so they have McDonald, who has 5 sacks this year, and they have Quentin Williams up the middle, who only has 1 sack this year. But like, you can find time to throw against this team, and that Bo Nix offense has nothing at receivers. We have the best receiver in football and a first-round pick in Jordan Addison who's proved it, and Jalen Naylor has proved it at times too this year, plus Aaron Jones back there. I think we're going to be the first team that throws pretty well. And again, good corners, I get that. But we have Justin Jefferson. Like, I think we're going to be the first team that makes that 128 yards per game number look a little bit foolish. I think Darnold has a good day. I think we do mainly run because I think that's the way to beat them. But Yeah.
Like when we threw that pick, I was like, God, we're running the ball so well right now. God, can't we're gonna just drive this at home on them, and then we pass it, throw a pick. It's like go with
red
hot.
zone turnovers have been a problem this year. We've had a couple of them, like deep
Yeah.
red turnovers. We've had a couple of those that you'd like not to see.
And he was right on the 20 when he did it. KOC blamed himself. No, I blame Darnold. There was a guy like 5 yards, wide open. He could have just got 5 yards. Who knows? He turns. He just makes one guy miss. He gets the first down. I think he just and why Aaron, and why to the running back? It's like okay, all right. But otherwise, Sam Darnold's limited. He's been less turnover prone. I keep saying this, recency bias. We watch our team and see all the mistakes, and then we watch the highlights of the other team, and they look awesome because they're highlights. But there's always going to be 4 or 5 plays a game, and I can pick out 4 or 5 with any one of these. There's not 10. There's 4 or 5, and we live, 2 go our way, 3 don't go our way, and then one game 4 go our way and 1 doesn't. I'll live with that. I'll live with that with the defense we have. And we're not fumbling the ball. We were leading the league in fumbles lost. We led the league in fumbles lost last year, and we were way ahead at this point last year. The fact that we've eliminated that from our game, and each one of us puckered up after we fumbled on the first drive of the season.
Yep.
And
we're like, oh, no.
I was puckered, and then we puckered again when we fumbled at the 1 yard line. Right? It's like, oh my God, but it hasn't been as bad, right? Anything is better than it was last year at this time.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, last year I was arguing with Jamie about tanking and having arguments all over the place about tanking. No, we could get to 4-4. I thought or at least 3-5. At least 3-5. I said, and we got to 4-4. So, but this year, much more complete team,
for sure.
All the way around on defense.
Yeah. And I know people wanted to give, and Kubler, I'll get to that point in a second about Aaron Rodgers there. But I know people wanted to give O'Connell a bunch of shit last year. Like, what's he still doing here? Like, he can't, the quarterback development, yada, yada, yada. Like, the difference, like, the Josh Dobbs thing, we're lucky we got 2 good games out of Josh Dobbs. A guy that showed up a week before and he showed up and was starting in the game 6 days later. Where, like, the difference between what he did with Aaron and then people like, oh, after the bye week, he didn't even make plays around Josh Dobbs. Like, you want him to change up basically the offense he's been working on all offseason, mid-season. Like, that doesn't happen. He had Sam Darnold, who he brought in thinking this guy's going to be our starter, and JJ, if he beats him out, great. But he had a quarterback he was able to ingrain in the system from the beginning of free agency when they signed him here through training camp. Like, that's the difference between what we had last year with the quarterbacks mid-season. Like, and even Nick Mullins was hurt for the first part of the year, right?
Yeah, that's the only reason we had Dobbs, because Nick Mullins was hurt that. And that's why Dobbs came in and be our backup that game. Right. And of course, Jaron Hall, who we mysteriously decided to get rid of, gets a concussion.
Right. But yeah, so O'Connell was able to get the best he could out of Dobbs for a couple games. Like, that's a totally different scenario than what we have going on here this year. But yeah, Kubler, Rodgers hates to throw picks. How many times did he throw it away on Sunday? And I think he's going to have to, because I think this defense is going to get after him. Because, yeah, I mean, as we saw his offensive line, I mean, how many false start penalties did they have? He was pressured a lot. He was sacked 5 times. He's hobbled. Both of his legs hurt, he says. So I think, I don't think he's going to be able to run around as good as he used to. I mean, he's still Aaron Rodgers, still has a talented arm, but I think we may. I think, like you said, I think we may see quite a few throwaways. I don't know how many, but I think.
Well, and that's the thing. That was my biggest complaint first 2 or 3 years of Cousins, as he went through the ball away. You see Tom Brady, you saw Aaron Jones throwing the ball away, and one of the things I noticed about Sam Darnold is that he has thrown the ball away. Like, he's thrown it into the ground where no one would get it, and I've seen him do that a few times. It's not many, because it seems like we're always got. I've never seen a team have our wide receivers so fucking wide open every game,
especially Justin Jefferson of all receivers. I said that about I just said that about Dobbs last year, if you remember. Is like, all right, he's throwing some guys that are wide ass open, and he's ran around a little bit, but I'm gonna wait to hold my judgment until he starts to have to make tight passes.
and then he turned into ass. Like he became pumpkin. That Bears game was awful, and now we go back, and then the Raiders, but Sam Darnold is shown me he can make a tight throw though, because that Justin Jefferson back shoulder pass was spot on.
Yeah.
He has that chemistry going right now, and that's awesome. I really want to know what TJ Hawkinson will be in this offense. Will we use the tight end more? I think we'll attack the middle of the field a lot more. He's just a different cat than Munt and Oliver. It's just a different class.
Yeah, absolutely. So I say let's get to 5-0. Let's get Hawkinson back after the bye or shortly thereafter. I don't know, man. This team, it's already good, and it's only going to get better. And
let me ask you this: we talked about this last night about getting, trading for a defensive lineman.
Dexter Lawrence. I was actually just about to say that. What if we did that at the deadline, traded for a Dexter Lawrence or something? Like, that's the missing piece. Because
we can afford him,
right? Exactly.
But it's going to take up 25. And my point was, does Kwesi look ahead and think, okay, he's got like $27 million cap hit this year? It's like 14 or 15, so we could do it now. But is he going to want to take? They got him through contract till like three more years, I think, at least after this. And that last year is like $7 million dead cap hit. So he's got big dead cap hits. Is Kwesi going to want to do that for, the future? And think about the 3 draft picks we have. I don't want to give them up.
Yeah. I mean, like,
and we're not a young team. I know people think this,
right?
Like, because our long snapper's 37, that really changes our age of our team about 30 days or 20 days. Yeah. We're still the 5th oldest team. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers and he's 40. They have 3 guys like are 4 or more. They have 4 guys that are like 33 or older. That's more than we got. They're the 11th oldest team in the league. Yeah. So, we're old team, but hey, I have no problem with it because we're filling it in with a Gilmore, We went and got some 27, 28-year-olds. That actually raised our age. We didn't go out and get some super young guys. We got 27, 28-year-old guys, and then we got a 29-year-old running back, and then we got Gilmore's 35. So we raised the age. I have no problem with that because we have a lot of cap space and we can do it again. But the Patriots did it through the draft and got rid of a Randy Moss for pennies. They tried to get rid of Gronk, but he's threatened to retire. And then they won a Super Bowl again. So they did it. They tried to do it through the draft, get young players, let the veterans go. I don't necessarily think that's the right model. I like what we're doing. We're filling in spots, but 3 draft picks is pretty low. I don't know if we're going to hit on another free agent class like this again. I don't know if we'll get the undrafted free agents like we've been doing again, but that has been Kwesi's saving grace. Been the free agent class, and then this undrafted free agents.
I think this next year is going to be a big year for him to hit on his draft picks. Like that first round pick that you saved, that needs to be like a game changing defensive. I mean, I'm looking at it as you're probably looking defensive interior guy or corner, because we don't have and that's the main concern. That cornerback group is old, and outside of the older guys, it's not very deep. So I think Nudie McGlothern could be something. I like him a lot, but he's an undrafted free agent. So again, I don't know if you go corner. Depends on what you're picking, but I'm looking big defensive interior guy or corner with the draft pick next year. But it really does feel like with the limited picks you have next year, Dallas Turner, we haven't seen a lot yet. I know he's going to develop into a good player. He has to. But you're going to need to hit on those draft picks next year, because free agency is great, but as you've seen, you can't. You're supposed to supplement with free agents, spend big money on one guy that's your big missing piece, but you still got to be able to draft well and fill holes there. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
I've said
right now he can rest on his laurels of I'm signing good free agents. What we're doing is working. It's the competitive rebuild. We have money to spend. This is perfect. Let's just keep winning football games. We won't have to have any of these tough conversations. But but behind the scenes, I think he knows he has to improve on his drafting.
Well, one of the things I said, the Texans game, we won that game going away without 4 first-round draft picks of Kwesi and a second-round draft pick of Kwesi. We're missing 5 top draft picks from his draft classes that did not play in that game. And we won going away on what was supposed to be a Super Bowl contending team. So, you know, I was told that we need to tank to get higher draft picks. And, you know, here we won a game going away without 5 of Kwesi's first and second round draft picks.
Yeah.
Probably some more too.
Yeah. And Cuba, this is an amazing, this is an amazing point right here. Cause that's the thing. It's like, he didn't go get the Christian Wilkins how much did he cost the Raiders? And look at what the Raiders are doing. 30 something a year.
30.
Yeah. You brought like, and instead of spending big money,
say 27 million,
something like that. And instead of spending big money on a almost 30-year-old Daniil Hunter, you bring in Jonathan Grenard. You paid him decently. I don't know exactly what the number is. If someone does, remind me.
It's like Sam Darnold, Grenard, and Van Ginkel, and I think another player like cap hit of 17 million this year.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. You bring in Grenard, and Grenard is supposed to be like your prize, in which he's shown to be. He was supposed to be like your prize of free agency, because he was the guy. It's like, is he a step below Daniil? Probably, but I don't think his last season in Houston was a fluke. I think that was his springboard. 12 and a half sacks last year. We're seeing that player right now. And then Jamie loved the Van Ginkel signing. That to me feels
loved it too.
That is a value signing, a guy that Flores wanted here because he's coached him before. Like, that is the plan. You're not spending the Christian Wilkins money. You're spending that amount of money, and you're getting 3 players. And Grenard leads the league in pressures. 3 sacks in 1 game, looking good. Andrew Van Ginkel, he's made his impact felt. Blake freaking Cashman at linebacker like people are like, oh, Blake Cashman, he had 1 good season in Houston, whatever. He has been amazing. He has been all over the field at that linebacker spot. So, and then you look at a guy like Kamu Grugier-Hill. Like,
where's that guy come from?
Like,
right?
It's just like this. Like,
he was a Texan too.
Like, and these are all value free agents, and that's a great point there. Like, his plan with free agents is awesome. Like, don't spend the big money on one guy. That was the whole reason that we moved on from some players, is because of you have to pay him big money for 1 year. He wants to spread that out because he knows this is the time. If you get a bunch of good players for cheap, it gives you more money. You can make that big splash if you want to down the road, especially with the quarterback situation that we're going to have in the future.
Think we're 4-0, and we had the worst dead cap hit that I have ever seen that I was aware of.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's
crazy.
Yeah, we're still paying Kirk, still paying Daniil, a couple other guys that we're still paying here. So if Jones gets hurt, should we bring Madison back? Absolutely not. Keep that guy off my football team. Can't go back. Can't go back.
No.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, man, I don't know. Exciting season so far. This Jets game is going to be a lot of fun. Waking up nice and early, get to watch nice and early football, 8:30.
I'm happy about it. I want to get on the rest of my day.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Cool.
I feel bad for those West Coasters. They got to be up at 6:30 to watch that game. That's something. That's something. Is performing for the is he? I think he's had a couple games. Let's find out.
Yeah, that 30-yard catch and run. He hurdled somebody. Like the second game.
Let him do that somewhere else. That's fine. Let's see. So far this year, he has 17 carries, 87 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So,
that's a good game for him.
That's a good game for Aaron Jones. And then he also has, I think he has does he have a receiving touchdown?
He had that 30-yarder.
Yeah. So, but I think they have like 2 other good running backs. Oh, is that supposed to be a joke? Okay. I get it now. Yeah. He ain't that great. But yeah.
You got us, George.
Big game this weekend. Vikings moved to 5-0 going into the bye week. Dave, anything else you want to say any other thoughts before we hop off here?
I don't want the civil war that's going to happen with Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy.
Hey, but that's in the future. But if we're still talking about JJ versus Darnold at the end,
we had a good season, right?
That's a great thing. I hope we're having this.
I hope we're arguing about that shit in the offseason.
I hope this discussion starts February, whatever the day after the Super Bowl is.
9th.
That's when I hope this whole conversation around Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy starts, because then we're sitting exactly. That would be an amazing.
And you know the funny thing is like I don't care either way. I mean I have total fucking faith in Kwesi and O'Connell right now to do the right thing. Okay. I think Sam probably at the end of the season would be I like the idea of a franchise tag, another year kind of thing. And we make sure McCarthy's healthy again. You know, I have no problem with that. I heard the franchise tag and trade. We can do that.
Yeah,
that's an amazing thing. That's awesome. We got so many good things. The fact that Sam Darnold plays his ass off, we could do that. We could franchise him and trade him. It's a great thing for us. We got so much. It's turning out way better than better than I expected.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. To Evil, no, I will not be trading McCarthy for Bryce Young. That is not a good idea. Bryce Young is toast. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jamie, I always say this. Jamie said that he thought Bryce Young was far and away better than CJ Stroud. That was Jamie's point last year. I was against it. I disagreed. But
during the season or the 2 years ago before he drafted?
During the draft, yeah. He said Bryce Young far and away better than CJ Stroud.
I was like, okay, I see he's good in college and he's mobile. He's always got his eyes downfield, but he's 5'10". I don't want him.
And weighs 200 pounds with a.
I look like a bobblehead out there. It's like I didn't want him. I didn't want Caleb Williams, but I said I wouldn't cry if we got him. I think he'll be okay, but I don't think he's just going to lose interest. I think at some point.
Yeah, I mean Jaden Daniels looking like the real deal.
For me, it was Jaden Daniels or JJ McCarthy. We're like only because JJ McCarthy, I thought we could get cheaper,
which we did,
and then Daniels we'd have to give up the farm for. But I thought it would be worth it. And God, I just feel so right.
I believe Drew Brees was like about 5'11", or was he like exactly?
I was wrong about Ritter though. But
that entire quarterback class was an absolute.
That whole class sucked, and he probably was the best one out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But we got what's his name for the Packers? He's been playing pretty good.
Willis. Yeah.
He's been.
That struck me as a whole Josh Dobbs situation. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Dave, do you have any other shows planned for the weekend at all?
I go live on Sundays, game day. I watch the game with you. If you guys want to jump on, say hi. I'm there. I'm just there talking to like 5 people. I don't know. There's so many people going live right now.
Yeah, but
it's fun. I watch the game. I got 4 games going on one of the other screens, and pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure. George.
And I do a pregame with SKOL Doc. We tape it Saturday night and play it Sunday morning.
Okay.
So, and I do it as a premiere so you guys can chat in it. I try to watch it, but of course, maybe we'll go live that night. I don't know because the game's early. I'll have to ask about it. But SKOL Doc and me go on a couple times a week. We bringing in different guests there too. We'll try to bring in more here, but it's fun, man.
All right. Barber, thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining. And I will be live tomorrow on GG Sports Podcast. Jamie, as I said, in London for the game. Got to keep the show on the road. So I'm going solo tomorrow on GG Sports Podcast, 6 p.m. Central Time. Make sure to join me there, talking all Vikings, Jets. I got a little keys to victory thing ready to go. It's gonna be a fun time. So make sure to join me there. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the SKOL Experience. And until next time.
Set your DVR.
What was that?
Set your DVR.
Set your DVR. But all right, guys, thank you so much. See you guys next time.